shit is getting real. Diddy just got denied having evidence thrown out to use against him during trial. And Diddy also just got denied his request to have 2 of his charges dropped against him. Diddy wanted all of the evidence thrown out from when the feds raided his house, and the judge just denied it, but he also denied it, basically calling out Diddy, saying there is a lot of evidence against you. Diddy was trying to say that there were certain text messages that the feds didn't add to get the search warrants between him and Cassie Ventura, and the judge just totally called him out. The judge actually says the full scope of these text messages actually show more probable cause as further evidence that Diddy physically abused victim 1 and that he coerced her using blackmail and that she didn't want to participate in some freak-offs. Diddy also tried to call out Cassie Ventura because of her civil lawsuit. He claimed that she had financial motives to lie because of her lawsuit, but the judge called him out on this also. Doesn't see after Diddy settled this case with Cassie how this undermines her credibility, that it actually does the opposite. The judge said since Diddy settled with Cassie long before these raids on his houses even took place, she lacked any financial motive to lie. The judge also says, in addition, other witnesses corroborated Cassie Ventura's information. For example, whatever she told Dr. 1. Cassie's own statements to law enforcement were not the sole basis for the probable cause for the search warrants. The judge then says, even if alleged misstatements and omissions as to Cassie undercut probable cause of trafficking, which they do not, Diddy has not argued that there are material to other federal offenses identified in the warrant. He says that Cassie Ventura was not the only alleged victim of the trafficking in the 3 of the 4 challenged affidavits. Diddy did not show that information about Cassie Ventura was necessary to the overall determination of probable cause of trafficking when there was evidence as to other victims. Diddy also tried to argue about some of the things that they used from worker number 1. But it said overall, Diddy did not challenge worker 1's statement, nor was the worker the only witness who corroborated Cassie's account of that evidence. Diddy also tried to go after statements from assistant 1. Diddy was trying to say that there were certain text messages left out that didn't show the full picture, and it was completely distorted. But the judge said that this is another instance where the full inclusion of the relevant text would strengthen the probable cause determination. Somebody named Butler was texting assistant 1, and then a few days later, Diddy texted assistant 1. And whatever they were texting would strengthen the probable cause of obstruction. The judge also says because something assistant 1 said before she made her statements to law enforcement, at the time she did not have any financial motive to lie. If anything, she had a motive to avoid embellishing her story and embroiling herself in the government's investigation of Diddy. Now, Diddy also tried to argue about statements made by producer 1 to get these search warrants. And he said that producer 1 had a financial incentive to fabricate and embellish. The judge called this out and said that producer 1's statements about substance use were in fact corroborated. The affidavits also include several witnesses' observations of substance use that support probable cause as to narcotic offenses. And the judge says even though producer 1 had sent a lawsuit and a demand letter to Diddy, assistant 1 had a nearly identical recollection in supporting information from other witnesses who supported probable cause findings. And when they say producer 1 based off of this information, I really feel like this is Little Rod Jones. Now the judge starts talking about Diddy's arguments with victim number 3, and this is the victim that is missing right now. Because of the things that are being said in here, this makes me believe even more that this person might be Gina Hunn. The judge said that Diddy tried to say some of the statements were excluded that victim 3 said, but they said that the affidavits had included all of victim 3's public statements. They would have also included a public interview, which she has done. This is clearly sufficient to establish that Diddy used force and coercion. Based off everything that I've seen about victim number 3 in the court dockets, the fact that the judge dropped this about a public interview. Makes me think of Tasha K's interview that she did with Gina Hunn. Now the judge also gets into victim number 4. Diddy was trying to say that there was crucial information left out on purpose in these affidavits to get the search warrant, just like he was saying with everybody else. But the judge says that victim 4's allegations were corroborated by phone records on the day that Diddy's associates, including producer 3, allegedly tried to silence her after an assault. This evidence enhances victim 4's credibility and at the very minimum provides enough probable cause for the search warrants. And then they also talk about Diddy's arguments about Designer 1, and they say that the affidavits allege that Diddy's representatives tried to silence Designer 1. Not only did the judge deny Diddy having evidence thrown out, he blew down on him, saying, actually, everything that you are saying is the total opposite. There's a lot of good information in here. And the judge wasn't done there. He also just denied Diddy wanting to dismiss count 3 and count 5 of the superseding indictment, which charges him to engage in prosta by transporting victim 1 and victim 2 and commercial workers in interstate and foreign commerce. Diddy tried to argue that these counts should be dismissed because they reflect a clear case of selective prosecution. And Diddy claimed that they had been deployed against a prominent black man. And the judge has had enough of this. He said, get out of here with saying that they're only trying to take down a black man, and he straight denied it. So yeah, this judge just blew down on Diddy. Not only did he say, you're not getting counts 3 and 5 dropped against you, we are also using every piece of evidence that we got from your house against you in this trial. The 1,000 bottles of baby oil, all of the freak-off tapes, and more. But he also called him out very, very publicly while saying all of this and showing us a tidbit of evidence that they do have against Diddy. But for now, y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.